hello Optimus Prime. I am back from my mission.
Excellent. Did you kill all those stupid critics?
Oh yes, sir. All those stupid critics who make fun of our movies are dead except...
Good, Bumblebee. Good. That's what they get for trying to ruin our reputations. These silly critics do not understand the complexity of our films. Gosh darn it, if you ask me, I think we have the best film franchise ever made. Better than Star Wars, Godfather, Jurassic Park, Harry Potter...
So you did not let me finish. We killed all the critics but one.
All but what? You mean there is one critic out there who is still poo-pooing all over our series of masterpieces?
Yes, sir. A whiny, petulant child currently living in Boston.
Does this imbecile have a name?
Yes, sir. His name is Ralph, but many people know him as Ralph.
Yo, Macon. Up for some Pinot Grigio? Nah, I don't drink, thanks. See, unlike you, I don't drown my depression and sorrows and loneliness with alcohol. Well, see, that's where you're mistaken, Macon, because I am actually in a great mood. I'm, in fact, in one of the best moods I've ever been in. I don't know why, I'm just, very happy for some reason. Maybe it's the holidays coming up, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas. Huh, that's good. Yeah, I know, right? And on top of it, this wine is just delicious. Anyway, what are we watching? We're watching Transformers 5, The Last Night. What a surprise, right? Many people have given up on this series at this point, and most critics have just given up criticizing it. We were all expecting this movie to be bad, obviously, but it somehow managed to be worse than I thought it would be.
Words hurt, Cade.
So while many others have given up, I'm sticking with this disaster of a series until it's dead. Which won't be for some time now, because they're planning like 14 Transformers movies, including Transformers 6, Transformers 7, and Transformers 8. They're also planning 2 Bumblebee movies, one of them directed by Travis Knight, the guy who made Kubo, and then one of them's a rated R Bumblebee movie. So you mean they made a show for kids so that they could sell toys to kids, and then 30 years later they're planning to make a rated R movie based on one of the characters? What sense does that make? There's also Transformers 1? Not Transformers 1, Transformers 1, which is an animated movie, and they're also made Roman Transformers movie set in Roman times. Sadly though, there is no Transformers G.I. Joe crossover planned, because we were all clamoring for a Transformers G.I. Joe crossover.
Stay away from any boy in a band, especially a drummer.
Yeah, drummers are the worst, not to mention stupid. DJs, real dickheads.
Come on.
We had a thing, or a saying back and forth. She'd
I'll be
always
right
ask.
back. How does he do it? How does he make 5 bad movies like that? I don't know. It's like doing 9/11 5 times, except each time it gets worse. Yeah. King Arthur and the executives of the Round Table. The opening credits are weird. It says all the production companies and studios in one title card, and then the movie starts. There's nothing creative about it, it's just text. It's so bizarre. And then we see the Paramount logo twice. We're literally a second into this movie, and I'm confused already. The movie starts, and we see medieval knights fighting each other. Then we cut to this guy on a horse, who was later revealed to be Merlin, the magician.
Oh, God, I'm sozzled.
So, King Arthur is actually in this movie. I'm not kidding.
Where in hell is your so-called magician?
He will be here, Lancelot.
Lancelot? What? Is this fucking King Arthur? And that's Merlin?
Time for a second wave.
What? What the fuck? This is crazy. What? Is this a fucking black guy fighting? What? What the fuck is going on? This is Transformers 5. What the fuck?
Why is King Arthur in this movie? I guess they wanted to capitalize on that new King Arthur movie with Charlie Hunnam? Who can blame them? That movie was a huge hit. Apparently Michael Bay was slated to direct it, so maybe he made the scene and the project fell through, and he just went like, maybe I can use this in my new Transformers movie. We can work it in somewhere. Get Stanley Tucci to play Merlin, even though he was in the last movie. Yeah, go ahead, Michael Bay. Do whatever you want. It's not like some guy on the internet's watching every single movie and criticizing it.
We need a real writer's room. So we've got 14 great writers. We put them through Transformer School. We locked them in a room for about a month at Paramount with 10,000 images from the franchise, surrounded by props, a life-size thing of Bumblebee. It just stared them in the face. They came up with a complete Bible from the beginning of time to way deep into history. They came up with great stories.
Magic does exist. It was found long ago.
This is absolutely bizarre.
Inside a crashed alien ship.
What? Merlin goes to visit an alien ship, and one of the Transformers gives him a staff that can control a Transformers dragon. So now that we got that cleared up, we can discuss the timeline of these events. So let's go to the timeline that this series has established so far. In the first movie, they established that the Transformers' first time arriving on Earth was in whenever the movie came out. Then in Revenge of the Fallen, it's revealed that the Transformers were actually there way earlier. They were there during like 10,000 BC. Then in the third one, it's revealed that they were there during the moon landing or before the moon landing. They crashed on the moon and then froze. And then at some point, NASA went to the moon because they saw the Transformers were on it. Then in the fourth movie, it's revealed that Transformers landed on Earth way, way, way back when dinosaurs were around. So they're just making this series up as they go along and using the same exact template. Oh, there's a historical relic that the Transformers left behind a long time ago. Sometimes it's a box and sometimes it's a staff. Actually, most of the time it's a staff. And then some white guy and a C-list actress have to fight to get the relic and then use it to kill the bad guy. While Optimus Prime mumbles cliche dialogue that means nothing.
There is more to this planet than meets the eye.
They're gonna keep dropping Transformers just in random historical events. Did a Transformer kill JFK? Did a Transformer do 9/11? 9/11 wasn't an inside job, guys. Freaking Megatron did it. What's going on with the aspect ratio? Those of you who are more observant have been noticing that the aspect ratio is constantly changing. For those of you who don't know what the aspect ratio is, it's those black bars you see at the top and bottom of movies. Those things you never see in one of my reviews because I usually crop it. But I can't for this movie because it keeps changing. I think it would take me 2 months to crop every shot. I criticized Christopher Nolan for this before because he shoots on both regular film cameras and IMAX cameras in the same movie. So not only is the quality inconsistent, but the aspect ratio keeps changing. But Michael Bay, being the genius filmmaker he is, amplifies this effect to make it 1,000 times more annoying. While Chris Nolan movies, different scenes have different aspect ratios, in this movie, every shot is a different aspect ratio. Like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? Can't you just crop the whole movie or shoot the whole movie on one camera? And it's not even alternating between 2 different aspect ratios. It's alternating between 3. We got like a full frame, and then we got like a partial kind of full frame, but it's a little down. And then we have it completely letterboxed like this. Are you trying to give me a headache? As if your fucking movie wasn't annoying enough?
Hey, I'm Michael Bay, and I am a strong believer in protecting the cinema experience.
His filmmaking is a very three-dimensional style.
On a 3D rig and shoot in 3D.
I'm here to keep 3D alive. Transformers movie is meant to be seen on the big screen. Brightly lit 3D screens. IMAX 3D, native 3D, 3D.
Everything wrong with the series in 1 minute and 15 seconds of screen time. The following minute and 15 seconds of this movie encapsulates everything wrong with it, and everything wrong with this entire series. At 6 minutes and 55 seconds, we see Optimus Prime floating around. I guess he's just frozen now. In the last movie, he flew up in the air, but I guess he just couldn't handle space. Didn't he fly from Cybertron? How far is Cybertron? Didn't Starscream fly to Cybertron in 5 seconds in Revenge of the Fallen? And then he flies back to Earth with the Fallen in no time. So Starscream and the Fallen can fly in space, but Optimus Prime can't? I guess it's all that climate change affecting the weather in space. Then it says Transformers The Last Night. It's just shoved in there. No creativity at all. Remember when the credits used to be all intricate and cool? All that nice sound design? Now they just slap the title As if to just get it over with. Like, yeah, this is a 5th Transformers movie. What do you want from us? We're now 7 minutes in, and we get lazy narration that explains the plot.
Some say he will never return.
His sworn enemy, Megatron, vanished.
7 minutes and 20 seconds in, we get Mark Wahlberg, which is a whole other thing. We then get treated to horrible editing and bland stock music, which is going to be something you're going to have to get used to. 7 minutes and 26 seconds in, we get some generic text at the bottom left of the screen with the glitch noise. And look at that aspect ratio, just keeps going. Then we're introduced to a new anti-Transformers force called the TRF. What happened to the other ones? What happened in Nest? Where's Tyrese? Where'd Tyrese go? At 7 minutes and 40 seconds in, we get a racist Hispanic robot. I love stereotypes. And look, he's playing with a soccer ball too. That's what Hispanic people do. Are we gonna put a fucking sombrero on him too? Make him eat a taco? Have a scene where he crosses the border? You know what? That's so stupid, I bet it's gonna happen.
Hola, amigos, come on, vámonos!
No.
Then John Turturro shows up. I don't know what he's doing here.
A mojito needs ice.
John Turturro's in like 2 scenes in this movie, and he does nothing but talk on the phone in a close-up. That's his only purpose. I don't know why he's in this movie.
Succubus until only one remains.
At 8 minutes in, we get more exposition, pandering to China, and product placement.
Oh, I like this. Good choice, good choice. Visit.
Get it off my desk.
No way! Where'd you get that?
How much of our time remains?
This served no purpose at all. It takes away from the dramatic tension of the scene, actually. What would be dramatic tension if Michael Bay knew what the fuck he was doing.
3D.
Child actors. As if this movie isn't bad enough, now we have children. You know my stance on children. I can't stand them, which is a shame because they make up at least 87% of my audience. These kids sneak into some restricted area where the Transformers fought. I don't know where this is, if this is from the last movie or just some random battle that was fought like in between the 4th one or the 5th one. I have no fucking idea. Oh, they were thinking like, oh, you know what? People like Stranger Things and they like kids, you know, going on adventures. So we'll get a bunch of kids with no chemistry who can't act.
We're kids, man. We get away with anything. Nah, man. I'm getting me a souvenir.
And we'll just have them talk about nonsense that means nothing for 2 minutes.
You have a big heart. That seems to be working. What's your workout routine?
What? We just realized kids like watching other kids in films. And adults like watching kids in films as well. Especially Kevin Spacey.
Here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to do a matinee for kids. All kids.
But as if this movie isn't cute enough, they had a little R2-D2 BB-8 robot that's supposed to be cute. It's so cute. I want an action figure of that.
Oh, look, there's a video.
Hey parents, check out this fun toy from Hasbro.
Oh my god, I want this. Mom! Mom, I want this Squeaks toy! It's so fucking cute!
So then these giant mechs come in and are like, you're under arrest? But then girl power saves them. Then this guy gets up, his name is Canopy.
Who is he?
Let's go.
As far as you're concerned, my boyfriend.
How long's that been going on?
Oh my god, what the... Did you guys write this in a day?
We need a real writer's room. So we've got 14 great writers.
I mean, I know you don't make these movies for American people to enjoy anymore. You just make them so they could sell in China. They can still read the subtitles and realize how awful this dialogue is, you know? Like, they actually think Americans talk like this because of this movie.
I'm just gonna hotwire this bitch!
How has she lived here this whole time without anyone noticing? There's all kinds of drones all over the place. The military's constantly watching it, especially with this giant transformer with her. I get it has like a blanket, but that's not enough. It has to move around every once in a while, right? Then Mark Wahlberg shows up for God knows what reason, just starts shooting.
Hey, it's all I got in my bag of tricks. You might want to hop in.
So we go from following a random prologue that makes no sense and doesn't need to be there, to the military's point of view, to these kids' point of view, to the girls' point of view, to Mark Wahlberg's point of view.
Go,
hey, you know there's a reward for turning you in.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool, you want to get punched in the face like really hard?
Michael Bay's a feminist now. Another great gimmick that Hollywood tried to capitalize on is girl power. I say tried because it didn't work. It worked for movies like Wonder Woman because people enjoyed the movie and they wanted to see a Wonder Woman movie. I mean, I didn't enjoy it, but I'll talk about that next month. Anyway, you can't just make a turd and put a woman in it and then expect me to go, oh, this movie's so progressive, I gotta see it. So before the movie came out, they released all these ads promoting the strong female character of Isabella, portrayed by a girl named Isabella? What the fuck? She's in these trailers talking about things, and she talks to the camera.
Funny what you can do when all you have left depends on it. Done. Fight like a girl? Yeah, I fight like a girl.
It feels like an ad for Nerf guns or something.
I am strong. I am powerful. Fight like a girl. Tell me what you're waiting for. Don't you?
They clearly shot this after the fact to try to promote it as some empowering movie. She's in it for maybe 10 minutes and she has absolutely no impact on the story. She's there to appeal to kids and women. Why are they doing this? At this point, do you think women and little girls are gonna watch Transformers movies? These movies are made to appeal to little boys and men with the attention span of little boys.
I want to stay, and I want to fight them.
You want to fight what? What are you gonna do? Wow, Michael Bay, I'm so glad you finally included a strong female character in one of your pictures. He's so progressive. Does anyone remember the rest of his films? Where he shoots women like they're sex objects? Does anyone remember the rest of his films? Where the female characters don't do anything aside from being some kind of reward for a male protagonist? Does anyone remember how he shot Rosie Huntington-Whiteley in Transformers 3? Where he had a close-up on her ass for an entire minute? Wow, what a liberal director. What a liberal film. Fuck you.
You're throwing those on us?
Yeah, no, and then I'm gonna slap your ass with this dowel.
Michael Bay doesn't care anymore. One thing I'll give those first few movies, especially the first one, is you could tell he cared a little bit. I mean, those movies still look pretty good. There's lots of really complicated, beautiful shots and set pieces in them. Now it seems like he's going through the motions. There's nothing memorable in this movie in terms of action or cinematography. There's a lot of cutting. Now it's all just shot handheld, and he gets a few wides, and then he lets his editor piece it all together. He's so clearly sleepwalking through this entire shoot, it's embarrassing. Any of the more intricate, complicated shots are completely done in CGI, but anything involving a set or real actors is just like phoned in shit. Handheld, wide, medium, close-up, shooting. Aspect ratio change. He can have all the money in the world for making these movies, but I know that he's miserable making this movie. Because you can tell from the filmmaking.
Would you ever consider a prequel to everything and maybe like where everybody came from, stuff like that? I know it's been touched on in this universe already.
Listen, now you're getting into heady stuff now. This is like... Right. Look, your cameraman's getting bored, I could tell.
The kind of plot. I find it outstanding that this movie has a worse script than Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was a disaster only because Michael Bay shot action scenes before writing the script because there was a writer's strike, and once those action scenes were done, the writers had to piece together a story out of something just so these action scenes connected with each other. I mean, maybe it's the fact that this movie was written by, 110 people? Of course it's a jumbled mess.
We need a real writer's room, so we've got 14 great writers.
Having that many writers should not be a selling point. I mean, I think a movie should probably have one writer, at most two. I think usually the best movies ever made are the ones written by 1 or 2 people, not 10, not 14. We're 25 minutes into this movie, so it's about time the plot starts. This movie is 2.5 hours long, by the way, and the pacing is horrible. So Optimus Prime arrives at his homeworld and says a bunch of bad dialogue.
My world. What has happened to my world?
What do you mean, what happened? You got in a war and destroyed the planet, idiot. Then there's this woman Transformer who's the prime of life.
You are my creator.
I am Quintessa, the prime of life.
Why is she here? Why is she being introduced now? Why has no one heard of her? Didn't all the primes know each other? And the second he arrives at the planet, she's yapping her mouth.
Has happened to my world.
Your world is dying.
So Mark Wahlberg was given an amulet with a cross on it by a Transformers knight. Then there's a dramatic reveal of Anthony Hopkins.
The night has arrived.
The talisman has been bestowed.
At last, Cogman, it begins.
Good, got it, great, good.
And then we're treated to dramatic sports. I don't know what this sport is. It's like golf with horses? I don't care. So this woman is also a tour guide of this museum that's also a castle. That's also Anthony Hopkins' house. You know, I'm glad Anthony Hopkins is getting a paycheck. I think he's the best actor in this movie. If there's anything redeeming about this movie, I would say it's him. Because he's just having a blast with this.
All you boys and girls, off the sub now! Off the sub now!
So Optimus Prime is suddenly obsessed with fixing his homeworld.
You are mine to command.
I think Optimus Prime is an idiot. He gets himself killed in the second movie, gets tricked by his teacher, who almost destroys the planet in the third one, and somehow in between the third and fourth movie manages to ruin human relations so much that humans start hunting down the Transformers and executing them. Steve Buscemi plays one of the Transformers.
If that fancy pancake was real, I'd grab the spaceship and blow this dirtball planet.
He doesn't fit the role at all.
There are exactly 7, count them, 7 signs of the apocalypse. And that talisman showing up here is numero uno.
He's playing a large guy with a beard, and he should sound all bassy and growly like John Goodman.
My invitation to this ass-kicking must have got lost in the mail.
But he just sounds like a wimp.
All right, I'm gonna go slather myself in oil.
So then John Turturro looks at a board, and then we get another fantastic line delivery from Anthony Hopkins.
Oh my God. Cybertron is coming.
This scene is 20 seconds long and features no characters we know, and then it ends, and we never see these people again. It's fine. I'm sorry, I'm still laughing about the last line.
Oh my God. Cybertron is coming.
Oh my God, I love it. So then Transformers become Suicide Squad.
What up, fellas? Man, I want to kill you right now. But I'm gonna kill you later.
They're recruiting all these guys because Megatron knows where a weapon is that could be really dangerous. So now these guys are going to trust Megatron, but not the Autobots.
A threat to our very existence, and Megatron can lead us to it.
We're going to do this whole thing again. Every movie they go, you know what, Megatron or some other Decepticon has some information that we need. So we're going to work with him, and hopefully he doesn't screw us over, even though he's done that 4 times already. And then there's like this weird montage. It's like Suicide Squad, I swear to God.
Nitro Zeus. Baby, free at last. Thank Megatron, I'm free at last. Berserker. I'll suck your brains.
What is this?
Dreadbot, in for bank robbery. Aggravated assault, murder, double murder, triple murder, 9 dead. Didn't even take the money. No.
And then these guys just get killed off in a minute. Like, they're not even important. Why was this in here? Then they go to Anthony Hopkins. They reveal that she's related to Merlin?
Brilliant minds, explorers, scientists, artists, world leaders, Renaissance thrill seekers, people like Catherine the Great, Empress of all Russia, General Washington, William Shakespeare, Queen Elizabeth of England, Abraham Lincoln, the Wright brothers, all united in one cause, to protect the secret history of Transformers.
Then they show Transformers in Nazi Germany. We see Bumblebee fighting Nazis. It's like, what are we doing here, guys? What is this? And then, shocker, Megatron turns against them, and they fight, and then the movie's over.
Our fates were always intertwined.
Oh, shut up. Mark Wahlberg. I'm not one of these people that hates Mark Wahlberg just by default. Sometimes he's pretty good, but most of the time he's not. And this might be his worst performance since The Happening.
What? No.
He's so bad, I don't know what to attribute it to. Him not caring, him not being talented, Michael Bay not directing him well, his character not being written well, or maybe all 4.
It's Isabella with a Z.
I don't care if it's a Z, an emoji, or a dollar sign, all right? This is no place for... You just go home, please.
I don't even know what to say after that.
God, get out of the way, man. You know, you're really missing out. Because it's okay to be a kid, little J-Lo. I believed in one of the great ones, Optimus Prime. And his crew. I never lost faith. You did. The whole world did. So you got an inline energon leak on a slant 6. Don't get it fixed. Autobot's about to bleed out. You got 30 seconds now. What are you gonna do? Go.
Only you can make it right, Prime. I can't do it without you. One moment, that's all we got. It's up to you, Prime.
We're back with Mark
Wahlberg, and that was a clip from Transformers: The Last Night. And what is this one about?
This one is kind of like a man on the run story. Where, you know, I've basically, in order to protect my daughter, I kind of leave her and go off on my own, and I'm being pursued by every different agency under the sun. And then I get approached by Sir Anthony Hopkins' character, and he basically puts me with this woman who's a professor from Oxford, and obviously we have nothing in common, but there's a lot of humor comes from that. And we basically have to kind of figure out the mythology.
A script that makes Schindler's List look like Monty Python. This is one of the least funny movies I've ever seen, if that's even a phrase. We got an Italian robot. We got a black guy saying a line about jail.
Can't go to jail, man. Hey! It's the real world, okay? Let's go! I can't go to jail. I'm too skinny for jail. I can't even lift weights.
We got BBW.
This one's looking for a BBW. I don't know what that is.
It's a car, dear.
Right. Big, beautiful woman. Is it? Who knew?
A robot singing.
Stop it! What?
Sting like a bee.
Sting like a bee.
We got a girl who's turned on.
It's coming down.
It's going down your pants there. Careful.
Oh.
And is it tight or gripping hard?
It doesn't hurt, but I don't know what it does. It's like some worthless alien junk.
I think we'll find out what the purpose is if you want to.
We got this dialogue.
Hey, Kate, what's with the C-3PO ripoff?
Don't kill the messenger, or the messenger will kill you.
We got this dialogue.
What, run off with some crazy ninja butler?
We got this dialogue.
Look at this little fake horse. It's probably stuffing its butt or something. Guys do stupid stuff like that. Just rip it apart. Just grab it. Hurry, let's make this quick.
This is exciting.
I can't get it out.
We got this dialogue.
Oh my God! Such a hoarder.
We got this dialogue. We got this dialogue. We got this dialogue. We got this dialogue.
Slow down.
This dialogue. We got this dialogue.
Move, bitch, get out of my way. Move, bitch, get out of my way.
I mean, this is nothing new. If you're expecting high caliber comedy from a Michael Bay movie, I don't know what to tell you. The worst CGI, editing, and action in the whole series, and that really says something. So I don't like the CGI in this movie either. I think most of the effects are bad. Toward the end, they start to get a little bit better. I think there's some really nice shots in this scene, but overall, just this looks like crap. These robots look like crap. Bumblebee and Optimus Prime constantly change proportion. Like, sometimes Bumblebee's the size of his foot, and sometimes he's half the size of the city. The C-3PO robot keeps changing size. I think Bumblebee and Megatron look okay. I think the rest of them just look flat out bad. And the editing, Jesus. Okay, if you want to see the worst editing ever, maybe, you have to watch these phone conversation scenes with Anthony Hopkins and John Turturro. I swear to God, it's like Michael Bay has never edited a movie before.
This whole system pipes to Santa Monica, where I have 5 editors. Yo!
Hello. Yo.
Bye. Anyway.
So here's what's going on, alright? We're with Anthony Hopkins on the phone here. We get a wide shot of Anthony Hopkins running into a place. We barely see him in the frame. Then we get this back shot of him running in. Then we cut to this location, which is in Cuba, and John Turturro's just in the corner in a wide shot. We get like a 1/4-second shot of a phone being picked up, and then a dolly in on John Turturro. Then we get a wide shot of this library, and it pans down to Anthony Hopkins, who's walking with a cane now, even though he didn't have a cane in the last take. He also doesn't have that bag on that he did earlier. Then he's running again for some reason, and the camera's slowly turning. Then we get this POV shot of him running through books. Then this robot's here. Where did he come from? He wasn't there before. Then, like, what is this shot? Where did this robot go? He was, like, right next to John Turturro a second ago, and now he's, what, over there? Now Anthony Hopkins is sitting down. We get another slow dolly in. We get close-up of this book as Anthony Hopkins explains some stupid shit.
Earth is Unicron. One day his horns will rise to fight the mad goddess Quintessa.
And we get like 10 shots of Anthony Hopkins just feeling this book. Are there even words on this page? Then we get him just walking out. And again, just 10 shots of him getting in a car. This could be done in one shot. And then, I guess his GPS or something has a map of the Earth on it. And it, for some reason, has all the pinpoints of like where all these staves are, and the computer knows to make Pangea out of the continents.
Pangea, the supercontinent.
Anthony Hopkins has to explain that's Pangea. And then we get a flash frame of white, and he feels this thing for a quarter of a second. I guess this happened earlier in the movie.
Pangaea, the supercontinent.
It's the same shape on the round table.
Take a gander.
And there's some guy who clearly isn't Anthony Hopkins who dubs over this dialogue just to explain to the dumb audience something that they should have known already.
The supercontinent.
It's the same shape on the round table.
What? And then we flash frame back to John Turturro on the phone in a medium shot, and here's another Anthony Hopkins done by some other guy who doesn't sound like Anthony Hopkins at all.
Genius!
And as if that isn't bad enough, Anthony Hopkins, the real Anthony Hopkins, has a line immediately after that line, so you could just hear how different he sounds.
Genius!
That's Stonehenge.
Genius!
That's Stonehenge.
And then he says, "Handle it, brother."
I'll handle it, Brother Simmons, fear not.
And then he says, "I never had a brother," and then hangs up the phone.
I never had a brother.
What in the hell was that scene?
Feels nice.
Why couldn't the scene be a medium shot of Anthony Hopkins on the phone, and then a medium shot of him on the phone, and then a close-up of him on the phone, and a close-up of John Turturro on the phone, and then they hang up? Instead, it's like this circus act of just 10,000 shots that mean nothing. It gives me a headache. So let's discuss pacing now. I'm gonna compare the pacing of this movie to the first Transformers movie. Far from a perfect movie, I know. Honestly, not that good of a movie. But the first Transformers movie is so much better than Transformers 5. And despite being almost the same length, The Last Night feels like it's 5 hours longer than Transformers 1. This is because, aside from all the bad comedy and stupid action, the first Transformers followed a very basic structure. This is not a bad thing. Both films start with a prologue. A character explaining how this artifact is important and how our characters are going to chase after it in the movie. In Transformers, it's the Allspark, and in The Last Night, it's a staff. In Transformers, this lasts 2 minutes of screen time, and then it's over. In The Last Night, the scene is 7 minutes long, and it does a pretty poor job explaining what the staff is and what it does. I guess it's magic or something. At this point in Transformers, we finished establishing the B-plot and the army characters in the movie. Sam Witwicky is introduced 10 minutes into the movie, and in only one scene you get who he is, and why his character is important, and what he wants. Mark Wahlberg isn't introduced until 15 minutes into The Last Night, and we don't really get a gauge of who he is and what he's doing until 28 minutes into the movie. While this is going on, we get a poorly set up B-plot involving Optimus Prime becoming evil. This happens 20 minutes into the movie. We also get a random scene of this girl 25 minutes into the movie that's dumb. We don't know who she is or what's important about her. What took Transformers 1 15 minutes to do takes The Last Night 25 minutes to do. The inciting incident of the first Transformers is 15 minutes into the movie when Sam buys Bumblebee, and the first act is over and the second act is starting at 55 minutes into the movie when Sam meets Optimus Prime and he explains what the hell is happening. This may seem long, but it takes Star Wars A New Hope 50 minutes to reach the second act, so I guess it's not that bad. A few scenes could have been cut out maybe, but let's compare that to The Last Night. In The Last Night, the first act ends and the second act begins an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, when Mark Wahlberg goes with this British robot to meet Anthony Hopkins, who will explain what the hell is happening. The second act of the movie is usually the longest act in a movie, where the most happens. In the first Transformers, the third act doesn't happen until 2 hours into the movie. So, Transformers, like many other movies, chose to break it down a little bit like this. Hour 1 is Act 1, Hour 2 is Act 2, and the last 20 minutes is Act 3. And the fight ends at around 2 hours and 13 minutes into the movie. The epilogue is only a couple of minutes and then the movie's over. It ends at 2 hours and 15 minutes. The Last Night, the second act going into the third act, happens 2 hours and 2 minutes, much like the first one. Except, keep in mind that Act 1 ended much later at an hour and 20 minutes. Which means the second act of the movie is only 40 minutes long. The longest and most dense part of a story, and of most films, is shorter than the first act of the movie, and only slightly longer than the third act of the movie. Act 3 starts at 2 hours and 3 minutes, and it ends at 2 hours and 25 minutes. Act 1 is an hour and 20 minutes, Act 2 is 40 minutes, and Act 3 is 22 minutes. On a timeline, it would look like this. Not saying Transformers is a well-paced movie, because that film is too long as well. In fact, the Transformers timeline should look something like this. But it's certainly much less bloated than this uneven disaster. It's why this movie's so freaking boring. It's okay to have 30 minutes of action, I guess. But you really need to understand these characters and like them and know what's going on in order to have that. But despite the first act being an hour and 20 minutes, you learn nothing about any of these people. Because the writing's awful, and the acting's bad, and then we're rushing along the story, and anything that could be interesting is just like a footnote. And instead we just have to watch characters run around, and you don't know why anyone's doing anything, and you don't know what's going on, and it's just boring. I mean, clearly people have grown tired of this series, because it's not making nearly as much money as it used to. For some reason, people really like this movie in China, and I guess good for them, they need to enjoy something. Who knows, maybe if you see Transformers in China, they give you a free gas mask or something. I mean, these movies do crazy well in China. Not just a little well. I mean, even though this movie made $130 million here, that's still way too high. People just want the same shit regurgitated on screen. Robots fighting, except this time there's a dragon. Robots fighting, except this time there's a dinosaur. And the brilliant, well-made movies just fall to the wayside, because we gotta watch Optimus Prime fight Megatron again. But what else is new?
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's Optimus Prime.
Hate to break up the party, but I heard you hated my film Transformers the last night. I have had my army of Autobots murder every critic on the planet.
I'm sorry. No, it's nothing to do with you. We're like 20 shots in. We're really bad right now. 21 shots in. That's how many Transformers movies you're making, right? How far back are you guys gonna go? Like, are you just gonna go to every different historical time period?
What did you turn into back then? Like, there weren't cars. Did you turn into horses?
Yeah, what did you turn into? Did you just turn into rocks?
You know, he used to turn into loose change in the 1800s. They called him Optimus Dime.
Optimus Dime. He used to transform into cakes and pies. They called him Optimus Key Lime. Did you know he used to be a football player? What'd they call him?
Optimus Halftime.
Did you know Optimus Prime fought in World War II?
On which side?
He was on the Nazi side. They called him Optimus Nine. And then they arrested him for an Optimus war crime. Optimus war crime. Oh, Jesus. Oh, he's gone now. He's just left. Oh, we hurt his feelings. Oh, no. Oh, these movies suck. I'm taking your shot. That's the end of the review. Fuck off.